Hello, welcome to Little Elm Public's Library Storytime. All our princes and princesses, knights, kings, queens, dragons, and all the lords and ladies of the realm. I hope you guys are dressed up today in your royalty finest or your knight finest, whichever you decided. As you can see, I put on my crown, and of course, whatever you are, you need a cape. And then just a little bit of embellishment. So if you guys are ready, our theme this week is princesses, dragons, and knights. So we are doing our summer reading next week, starting then. And we've got a lot of fun themes planned for you guys throughout the week. If you haven't seen the schedule yet, go ahead and check it out. We've got everything planned for you guys. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to a different continent each week to read the fairy tales there. So of course we've got so many fun stories planned this summer. And if you guys are ready, we're going to start off our wonderful story reading today, but first we've got to do our Follow Me song. But of course now it's our royal Follow Me song. So of course make sure you got your crowns on and your capes. And if you guys are ready, follow me, follow me. It's as easy as can be. Follow me, follow me. 1, 2, 3. Clap your hands. Spin around. Bend your knees. Touch the ground. Follow me, follow me. It's as easy as can be. Follow me, follow me. 1, 2, 3. Wiggle your fingers. Tippy-toe. Stretch up high. Wave hello. Follow me, follow me. It's as easy as can be. Follow me, follow me. 1, 2, 3. Flap your arms. Royal flap. Span your feet. Pat your back. Take a seat. Royal seat, right guys? So if you're ready for a story, lords and ladies, we've got to sing our reading song. So in 3, 2, 1. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, listen up and take a look. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Quiet down, take a seat. Make your hands all nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, take your seat. All right, so today we have Princess Hyacinth, The Surprising Tale of a Girl Who Floated by Florence Perry Hyde, illustrated by Lane Smith. Gonna kick it off with a princess. Princess Hyacinth had a problem. Well, you're saying everyone has a problem, but this was an unusual problem. Oh, she didn't look unusual. That wasn't it. She had 2 eyes with a nose between them and a mouth under that. You know, the usual things in the usual arrangement. In fact, if she wasn't all dressed up in her princess clothes, you'd think she was just anybody. So what was the problem? Princess Hyacinth floated. Unless she was attached to something or weighted down, she just floated up, up, up. And there she's taking off. So the king and queen had little golden weights sewn into the hems of Princess Hyacinth's gowns, and little diamond pebbles sewn into the tops of her socks. Her crowns had the heaviest jewels of the kingdom and a rhinestone strap under her chin to keep it on. As long as she was all dressed up in her princess things, she didn't float at all. In fact, she could hardly move. But the minute her crown was off and her gown and all that, up, up, up she would go in her royal underwear. The only time she could take off her royal stuff was when she was in the palace. Then, if she floated, and of course she did, she'd just float up to the ceiling and they could always get her down in the morning. "Why can't I float around outside?" was a question Princess Hyacinth had asked 6,000,000 times. "Because you just float away altogether," her parents explained. Poor Princess Hyacinth. She wished she could run outside like the children who came to play on the palace grounds. Instead, she sat at the window in her royal bathing suit, wearing a seatbelt, looking at all the children having fun. One was a red-headed boy who could fly his sky blue kite higher than all the others. His name was Boy. He waved at Princess Hyacinth every day and she waved back. He smiled at her and she smiled back. Boy had painted a gold crown on his kite in honor of the princess. Wasn't that nice? Boy had come over to her window to say hello a couple of times. Well, 7 times. She had counted every single one. Today, he walked over again. "I like your kite," said Princess Hyacinth. "I like your crown," said Boy. He turned to go. "And I like you," he said over his shoulder. At least, that's what Princess Hyacinth thought he said. Maybe he had just said toodaloo or yank-a-doodle-doo. She couldn't be sure. After a while, the children left the palace grounds. "I'm terribly, horribly, dreadfully bored," said the princess. She decided to go to the park. Of course, she had to get all dressed up in her princess clothes first. The weights and everything, the crown and everything. And then off she went walking to the park. Well, she wasn't exactly walking. She was sort of dragging along. She saw a balloon man coming toward her. Suddenly, Princess Hyacinth had an exciting idea. "Mr. Balloon Man," she said, "I'd like to float up there with the balloons." "That," said the balloon man, "is impossible." "No, it isn't," said Princess Hyacinth firmly. "If I took off all my princess clothes, you could tie a string to my ankle and I could float." "Oh dear," said the balloon man. But since she was the princess, she got her way. Princess Hyacinth took off everything from tip to toe, except her royal underwear, and put it in a neat pile under her umbrella. She left a sign, "Do not touch, property of the princess." The balloon man tied a string to her ankle and held on to the other end, and up she went. "I feel like a balloon," said the princess. The balloon man walked through the park and Princess Hyacinth bobbed along with the balloons. It was pretty exciting. But alas and alack, somehow or other the balloon man let go of the string that was attached to Princess Hyacinth, and up she went. "Oh, wow," said the princess. The balloon man ran to tell a policeman. The policeman told the palace guards. The palace guards notified the king and queen. "Oh dear," said the queen. The king got out his binoculars so that he could watch the princess as she floated up and up. "As long as I keep an eye on her, she won't get into any trouble," he said. Princess Hyacinth floated higher and higher, but hey, she loved this free bird feeling. She whirled and she twirled, she swished and she swirled, she zigged and she zagged and she zigzagged. She zoomed and caroomed and cartwheeled. She did handsprings and headstands, flip-flops and fandangos. It was the most fun she had ever had in her whole life. And all the time she was floating up, up, up. Now she couldn't even see the castle. I never knew the sky was so high, she thought. She saw something nearby. What could it be? She looked closer. What was it? It was her crown, her golden crown. What was it doing here? She was close enough now to touch it. Look, it was Boy's kite with the painting of her crown. Oh my, before she knew it, she was tangled up. Now what? Down on the ground, Boy felt a tug and started to reel in his kite, princess and all. The king, who had been watching her through his binoculars so that she wouldn't get into any trouble, saw the whole thing. Oh, hooray! Princess Hyacinth has been rescued. Boy was a hero. The king gave him a bag of gold. Now what? Well, since Princess Hyacinth had had such a wonderful time floating up there in the air, she wanted to do that every single day. I kind of would too. And she did. Every day she went out to the palace grounds in her royal underwear, and up, up, up she would float. Then Boy would fly his kite up, up, up right next to her and reel her in when she wanted to come down. And then she would invite him into the palace for tea and popcorn. The problem about the floating was never solved, and that's too bad, but Princess Hyacinth was never bored again. Good. The end. That was a really good story. And on with our theme, we now have King Arthur's Very Great-Grandson by Kenneth Kragle. So remember, King Arthur, of course, was a king. And let's see, his grandson. Henry Alfred Grummerson was the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of King Arthur, the noblest knight to ever wield a sword. On the day Henry turned 6 years old, he woke up early, ate a large breakfast, mounted his trusty donkey Knuckles, and went out in search of adventure. He had heard of a fire-breathing dragon lurking far out in the hills, so out into the hills he went. When he found the terrible dragon, Henry announced himself loudly. "Behold, vile worm, I, Henry Alfred Grummerson, a knight of King Arthur's blood, do hereby challenge you to a fight to the uttermost." The dragon drew in a long, long breath, but all he blew out was smoke rings. "Can you top that, young knight?" "Smoke rings!" Henry exclaimed. "I have no time for smoke rings. I want to fight, strength against strength, might against might." "I see. Well, if rough adventure is what you seek, maybe you should try the Cyclops up in the high mountains." Straight away, Henry and Knuckles sped into the high mountains, eager to do battle with the one-eyed giant. the day's end, Henry found himself face to face with the dreaded Cyclops. "Giant, I am here to do battle with you. Prepare yourself and let us begin." The Cyclops stared at Henry, and Henry stared back. They stared and stared until Henry could stare no longer. "Enough, Lone Eye," Henry shouted. "You have had time aplenty. Let the battle commence." "But the battle has already begun," the Cyclops explained. "Whoever blinks first is the loser. I thought you understood." "No, no," cried Henry. "I am not interested in a staring contest. I want a struggle of arms, a test of might and courage." The Cyclops considered. "If it is physical peril you desire, you should visit the griffin down in the valley." Once again, Henry and Knuckles were off. They galloped through the night, eager to do battle with the ferocious griffin. High in the branches of a massive chestnut tree, Henry found the grim griffin. He held out his sword and cried, "Aha! Strange bird! I am come, and at last I have found a worthy opponent. Now unsheathe your claws and let us have a do." And to Henry's delight, the formidable beast agreed. And pulled out a chessboard. "I prefer black. Is that okay?" the griffin asked. "No, it is not okay," shouted Henry. "I want swordplay, a struggle, a battle to the uttermost, and if you will not have a do with me, tell me who will." "Well, if it is danger you seek," advised the griffin, "then go down to the sea and you will find the Leviathan. Of all the living beasts, he is the most to be feared." So Henry leaped atop Knuckles and rode furiously to the sea, determined to have a battle, come what may. There, in the rolling waters, Henry caught a glimpse of a truly enormous beast just below the surface. He cleared his throat, gathered together his 6 years of manhood, and shouted, "Ready yourself, monster, and I shall have a do with you, for I am Henry Alfred Grummerson, the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of Arthur, King of Britain." "Greetings. I say greetings to the highly esteemed great. Hey, wait, where are you going? I thought we were going to play a game. Hello?" Even though he hadn't subdued the Leviathan, Henry was not dismayed. After all, he had traveled great distances and come face to face with 4 terrible monsters. To his knowledge, not even the great King Arthur had accomplished as much in his first 2 days as a 6-year-old. But Henry had also found something he hadn't known he had been looking for. Friendship, and he liked that very much. The end. Oh, those are some really good stories, and everybody made some good friends at the end, right, you guys? Well, you guys enjoyed it so much last week, we're going to have our little dance party song again before we go. So if you guys want to stand up, adjust your capes, adjust your crowns if you need to. And if you guys are ready.